Good afternoon. Welcome to Monday, a rainy, gross Monday. But welcome anyway. Thank you for joining me. I'm Mara Grusjanek, Family Engagement Coordinator at Stevenson High School. I'm so happy you're with me today to talk about building a growth mindset. So today we're going to talk about the idea that, have you ever thought or have you heard your teens say, just not good at this? That sort of belief that you can't be good at something because it's not like your gift. Our students are now at Stevenson thinking about registering for classes for next year. And now is a time, I don't know if you did that, let's talk about your future last week, but you can always do it now. I'll show you where you can find the cards at the end of this discussion. If you did not spend time doing it, it's all good. It wasn't like just one night you could talk about it. But our students are starting to think about what classes they're going to take next year. And this is a really good time to think about your teens' mindset. What do they think about themselves? Do they have a fixed mindset that says, there's limits to what you can do? Or do they have an open mindset that is open to possibilities? If you hear your students say, your teens thinking, I'm not good at something, I can't do it, it's better to stick with what I know I can do, then I won't fail. And failure's the worst thing in the world that can ever happen. It's not such a great thing to think that way, because failure can really cause a person to miss out on a lot of really great opportunities. And if there is anything, if there is ever a school that has a lot of opportunities for students, for growth, it is Stevenson High School. So we want to try to foster that growth mindset and that idea of thinking of, you're not just born with the skills that you have, so that our students will learn, our teens will learn how to persevere or work at something to get better at it, right? So there's two ways of thinking. This is Carol Dweck, if you have ever heard of her. Carol Dweck made this fixed and growth mindset super popular. So the growth mindset is a different way of looking at learning and abilities. With a growth mindset, you turn the things that you can't change into opportunities for growth or discovery. So the things that you cannot do, you work to become opportunities for growth and discovery. You believe that if you put in the effort, you can improve your skills and your abilities, and then there's fewer limits to what you can accomplish, as opposed to the fixed mindset of, I can never do that. I wasn't born with those skills. There are a lot of people who are like math-minded, they sort of are a little bit more mathematical, or they like to make charts of things, or, those are the spreadsheet people, or the people who like to make lists. There's all those people, but that doesn't mean that those people are not can't become like literary people too, and can't say, hey, I really love to do things. Because with a growth mindset, you think, if I practice at it, I can become good at it. If I try new things and I come out of my comfort zone. So that's the student that says, I may not be good at debate, but I want to try debate because it looks interesting to me. And so when I go out for debate, I know I may not be on the varsity debate team. I may be at home practicing debate with my peers, but I'm going to practice and practice and practice until I get to the point where I have the skills and the understanding to be good enough to be considered for the level I want to be at. So a growth mindset helps you think, what have I not done well? What can I do differently next time? And it helps promote taking on a challenge, right? So one of the things that Carol Dweck says, and educators say a lot, is they call it like the power of yet. So when you hear your students saying, I can't do that yet, I'm not good enough to be in basketball, I can't even throw a free throw yet. Because when you put yet at the end of something, anything is possible, right? So a growth mindset says, what do you have to do to develop those skills? It's like thinking, I can't understand that. I don't understand that. Or I don't understand that yet. So the yet gives you all the possibilities. I don't understand it is hopeless. And it's helpless. I don't understand it. It's a finite thing. Can't do it. Don't understand it. I don't understand it yet gives the possibility of, if I really work at it, maybe I can do it. So that's that power of yet. Can't do it. Well, I can't do it yet. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to figure out what I need to do to persevere with this. We are halfway through our 6 weeks, or our grading period at Stevenson. And those of you who have been following along and understand the way the grading works, it's this whole open growth mindset idea that you always can show that you can meet the learning targets. Maybe you haven't demonstrated growth in a specific area yet, but you still have time to show growth in that area, because we don't just stop it. It's the power of yet. I don't understand it yet. But then that opens up the conversation with you as the adult in your teen's life to say, well, what can you do to learn those skills? What can you do to grasp those concepts? That's really important, that idea of perseverance and helping your student think about gating something. So, they always talk about nothing hard ever comes easy. Well, I mean, it's really kind of a pessimistic way of looking at things. But when things don't come easy, you're not forced to develop a new skill or a new ability, right? When things come easy for you, you're kind of stuck in what you can already do, and you haven't really pushed yourself. And you haven't learned to depend on yourself. You haven't learned the resilience or the perseverance to say, no, I really want that. I really want to try to do that. And what's super important for your teens is that you're not the one that's making that decision for them. They're the one that's making that decision. They're the one that's coming to you and saying, hey, I think I might want to try this. It may not be something that you're interested in, or you think, as long as it's not harmful. But over the course of our teens' lives, they're going to face a lot of different challenges and situations where they can't do something. But if they encounter a challenge that's really difficult, they can either whine and complain, I can't do this, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do, or they can look at it as an opportunity for growth. So when you start talking to them, one thing I would say is course selection is a really good opportunity to say, well, what would you like to do? What's interesting to you in here? And how can you do that? It may not be like, oh, I'm just going to sign up for it because I'm ready for it. There may be some opportunities for you and your student to talk to the counselor or do something like that. But what we can do is frame a challenge as an opportunity so that our teens then build the habit of mind to not give up when something is hard. That's the whole point of it, right? The whole point of it is not to be like, I can't do it, I'm out. The whole point of it is to say, I can't do it, but maybe I can. What do I need to do to accomplish that? I can't do it yet. Remember that word yet, the 3 little words. So then they look at challenges and grow in challenges in their life as opportunities for growth, opportunities to get better, opportunities to push themselves, because the process is valuable. The journey is where you learn, right? All the time when you hear about people, anytime you're reading like a book on someone's life, they're like, oh, hey, I got to this end and it's what I really wanted. But what they really talk about is the process of getting to the end, the process of overcoming all of those challenges and obstacles in their life. And what did they have to do? So it's like when your teen comes home and they had some kind of assessment, like a formative assessment. They come home and you say, how'd you do on the assessment? Yeah, I did great. I mean, I got an A, of course. I knew I was going to get an A. And maybe they didn't really work for it. Okay, but imagine that same teen who took, like last Saturday, beautiful day, right? It's gorgeous outside. Sun is shining, great. Everybody wants to be out. But your teen chooses to stay inside and really work at overcoming the obstacles of learning, meeting those learning standards. And they come home after taking the formative assessment and they come and they say, you know what? I did it. I did really, really well. That feeling is so much more gratifying because first of all, they proved to themselves that they could do it. They saw the outcome of hard work, determination to get to a goal, whatever is important to them, the goal that's important to them. So no matter how hard it is, they try to do something. If they don't make the team, they go and they do whatever skill it has. They work on the skills in order to make the team. Or if they don't do well on a learning target, they go and they see the tutors at Stevenson, or they talk to their teacher, they go to a peer tutor, so they can really understand those learning standards, because that's what's happening is they're showing themselves, they're demonstrating to themselves that they have the grit, that they can build perseverance, and they are building the habits of mind to not look at a challenge as a foregone conclusion of failure. What a great gift we can give our teens if they look at challenges as not the foregone conclusions of failure. Because when we look at someone walking down the street or whatever, we don't notice all the hard work that went into something. We go, oh yeah, it's great. And we look at them from the outside and we see the people in our lives for, I don't know, a couple hours a day, right? Whatever it is. If it's a coworker, you're sitting in an office, whatever. So what you see is the success, or you may see them with a failure. You may see them cramming for a test, and you think, or your teen thinks, oh, the only thing that they had to do was try this for a couple minutes, and nobody ever has to try hard. Nobody sees what goes on underneath. It's like that iceberg, right? Nobody sees all the work and the dedication and the determination that goes into achieving those goals. And you know what? It's not important for anybody else to see that. What's important is that for you as the adult in your teen's life is to build that habit of mind of, I can do this. How do I find the resources I need to do this? What do I need? Not for you to do it, for you to help them, guide them like a mentor would. What do you need to do? What are some of the things you need to do? And coach them along the way and provide positive feedback and positive interactions to help them understand in a growth mindset, you can do it. They may not ever get to perfect, but they certainly can get way past, I didn't think I can do this. And that's what's important to help you as the adult in your teen's life, is to help them not give up, try things differently, look for the people and the helpers that can help you achieve those goals and get those skills to be where they want to be. We talked about this a little bit, our sophomores, those of you who have sophomores, today during their activity period, they met with their counselors to talk about course selection. If you have any questions about course selection or about what classes they should take or how they're doing in school, remember, you have an SST, that's your student services team, and they're here to help your team and help you think about what are those challenges, or how can you support those goals and those dreams that your student might have for classes they may take. Then tomorrow we're going to talk about supporting your team through making decisions. Kind of like why I put these two together. Open growth mindset says we can do things, we can think about things, we can be perseverant, we can have perseverance. I think I just made up a word. I'm sorry about that. And we can work on that growth mindset, right? We can think about what can we do, and how can we as the adults in our teens' lives help them grow and think about how they can achieve the goals that they have. It's a great habit of mine. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how do we help our teens make those decisions? Decisions like what classes do we take? Decisions like what should I do with my friends? Which friends do I like? What do I do? And how can we, as the adults in their lives, as the mentors in their lives, help them think about those decisions? I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you got something out of this. A copy of this will be on the SHS, the Stevenson High School Family Engagement YouTube page. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a really good day. I haven't been outside at all. I'm not sure if it's still a crummy day, but I hope you stay warm and you stay dry today, and that I see you tomorrow at noon to talk about supporting your team through making decisions. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Bye.